Welcome everybody to your ultimate podcast starts now. I'm Bobby F. Perryhar.
Sally E Tadina.
We got my little snotty-nosed kid over here who's breaking out his little fever rash. We're so sad. It was just
that's why I covered them.
every parent's worst nightmare. Holy smokes, hey. You're happy, you're going along, and suddenly someone breaks out in a rash and you're like, oh my god, I'm a bad parent. I've done something wrong.
He's still happy.
And of course, he's still happy. He's not irritated. Hi, sweetie. Well, more than just the regular irritation that we put him through. But hey, Sama. Hey, Julie. Dean, what's going on, my brother?
Hey, Dean.
How you guys doing? Andrew Bird, looking fly, man. Like a bird should. What's going on, guys? We basically, just so you guys know, once a week, my wife and I, me and my sweet, sexy Sally.
Me and my hottie.
We she's talking about the baby. No, I'm just kidding. I'm the hottie, obviously. Duh. But we come out here and spend some time with you guys. We're gonna be here for about an hour, and we're basically going to share with you, the pastings and the comings and the goings of what's happening inside of our lives, how to find some clarity. In this case, why your affirmations are not working. What does the universe want you to know, and peering into the future of your success and decide. So I was like, there's a lot to talk about there. So before we got into all that, I wanted to, take you guys on a little bit of a journey with us. Let's relax your mind for a bit. It's Friday night.
Relax.
It's feeling good. Everybody's where they need to be. The work week is over. We're ready for the weekend. I was thinking about that. I'm like, if you're really looking forward to Friday because you have a weekend in front of you, it's like a sad sign that the first 5 days of your week weren't good, or that you were like, I'm working for the weekend. And that's tough because a lot of people out there are celebrating weekends without really the hard work or like they're like the thing to accomplish. And it's tough because, we're tired. I've got kids and, they want to, they take up a lot of your time and energy, and children go to school. So there is a definite schedule. Even though I'm an entrepreneur, I'm back to my 9 to 5, kind of like Monday to Friday. Got to get things done for the kids.
Yeah.
Only it's more like 5 a.m. up now, and then like crushing it until
9 p.m. at night.
9 p.m. 5 to 9 instead of 9 to 5. It's 5 p.m. at 5 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. at night. I mean, that's that's passion. Turn your 9 to 5 into a 5 to 9. That's unbelievable. That's Dean says broken system. Of course, it's broken system. Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily broken, but it needs to be broken. You need to break from it. You need to break free from it.
So you can fix it.
So we wanted to pull you through, and Sally was like, we should pull people on a guided meditation. I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's all right. So imagine yourself in a meadow. And imagine in the meadow. I'm just kidding. How do you do it? What's the way to do it?
Well, some people relax by taking a walk. Some people relax by reading a book. Some people relax by going for a walk. And
sometimes when I'm not feeling good, Sally's like, go take a walk. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And when I go out for a walk, and I go down the street in between the houses, and there's like a forest, a little green patch, and we call it green belt. And man, does it feel so good. Just zoom into this little tiny forest pathway. The trees are there, all like just blushing and blooming, and a wonderful feeling to actually go and connect to nature. Yeah. Nature's a wonderful magnetic force of energy that really you can really connect into. So imagine yourself going for a walk. I have a really powerful technique. You guys want to hear this one? This is a really solid one.
It's gonna put you in trance here.
This is really cool, and I love this one. Okay, so take you're with me right now, right? We're here. You're listening to the sound of my voice. You're like, all right, cool. Let's see what he has to say. Take a walk with me. Now, imagine yourself walking. And suddenly boom, program. Put yourself in a forest. It's a nice, easy, open forest, okay? Mm-hmm. And you're in a forest, and you're walking through, and you can see the trees. You can hear you can feel the crunch of the leaves underneath you, right? So obviously it's going to be maybe a little bit cooler, crisper in the season when the foliage starts to turn golden. You're in this open clearing, you're open forest, you're walking along this path, and you're basically walking along through the forest, and you can see the trees, And there's no end to this. You're just kind of walking and walking along, and you're walking inside of this forest, and you can sort of feel the light. It's nice and bright. You can see these really giant trees. You're walking on the leaves. You can feel the crunch. You can feel the air. You're basically visualizing yourself taking a walk. Visualize yourself going through this walk. Okay, so for those of you who just joined us, we're on a spiritual walk right now. I thought I might take you guys into a little bit of a trance, or a little bit into a suggestion, a little bit into a guided online meditation, just with us right now. Imagination, powerful thing. Let's learn how to use it. One of the best muscles you can ever train is the fatty piece of tissue in your head. So you're walking, all right? Alejandra, thank you. We're walking. So we're walking along this forest, and suddenly, all of a sudden, you see this door. And you're like, this is interesting. All right, plot twist. There's a door in front of you, and it's this stone door. And it looks like a stone little like hut, like a little stone castle, like a little tower. But it's the size of a door. And you go up to this thing, and you're like, oh, okay, so there's like a little house here. There's a little small little structure, a bit bigger than a room. And it's got a little stone door on it. It's basically these big, huge stones, and then it looks old. It looks old. So you go up to this door, and you open it, and it's a heavy door, and you open it. And when you get inside, it's candle lit, but it's a stairwell. And the stairwell wants to go down, and you're like, you know what? I'm cool with walking in weird forests and stepping into wells that I've never been into. Sure, this is a meditation. Why not? Let's figure this out. Why wouldn't we? Let's just do this. Let's just follow Bobby on his journey, guys. So you step into the door and you start walking down. So you start spiraling down this stairwell. And you go, well, 3, 4, 5 steps, another candle. And you kind of like running your fingers along the door, along the wall. And you can feel the 3D grooves of this stone. Like it's set like hundreds of years old, starting to, get a little bit softer and starting to sort of, like get a curvature. It's not like a small little bricks. We're talking big bricks. And you're spiraling down. You go one down, one floor.
Not knowing where you're going.
It doesn't matter where you're going. The whole point is that you're going. So you're walking down, you're scrolling down, and you're basically like making this circular motion as you go downward, and you're making steps and steps down. So you walk and you step down and you step down and you step down, and you're sort of like bracing yourself on the rail or on the side as you walk down. And then suddenly there's a bottom, right? It goes down. And you're like, well, it was like 3 or 4 flights. I'm not sure how long it was for you, how long you were walking or stepping down the thing. But you get to a door, and it's the end. You open the door, and you're in a forest again. And this is like, okay, so interesting. I was just in a forest. I'm pretty sure I should be underground right now. But I've seemed to have opened up to another forest. So you keep walking. And you keep walking, and you're in this new forest. Looks very much like the same. And then you basically come to a clearing. You come to this clearing, and you see a door. And you see a door, and it's a stone door. And it's inside a small stone tower. And you're like, huh, interesting. I was just here a second ago. So you open this stone door, and guess what you find? Some stairs.
The same thing.
You find some stairs. There's some candles lighting up your path, so it's not that scary. And you're like, you know what? This is a weird looking meditation. Why not just keep going down? Why not just keep going down? Let's just keep going down. And so you take this step down, right? Safe, meditation, guided. We're just here on a go live. No big deal. It's just your imagination. It's not like there's anything scary. Maybe you're afraid of the dark. Maybe you're afraid of the woods. Maybe you're afraid of towers. Not here. Okay, we're suspending all that. You're just watching this thing happen. Dark, so it's lit, but it's on the inside. Yeah. So you take a couple of flights down. You're walking down. Another candlelight. You're walking down another candlelight. Just follow me here for a minute. What are you guys doing, Bobby? What are you guys doing? We're taking you through a guided meditation. We're just bringing you into a little bit of relaxation, just into a little bit of place for you to wisen yourself down. The reason why we're taking this walk down, is because we want to open you up to the law of suggestion. There's a reason why your affirmations aren't working. Oh, really? Okay, cool. I'm walking down. Hey, wait a second. There's no more stairs. Instead, I see a door. Well, we're not going to go back up. We may as well go out the door. Sometimes your affirmations don't work. You ever wonder that? And you're like, I don't get it.
You've been doing it for a while.
You've been doing it for a while. You're changing it up. You're trying to figure it out. Something is happening. and your affirmations just aren't quite cutting it. He is so cute. Are you the sweetest? It's so funny because he's getting big. I saw him go live with us a few months ago, like 3 months ago, and he was just a baby. He's such a big boy now. You're so cute. I love you so much. I love you so much. So you get to this door at the bottom. You get to this door at the bottom of this little tower, and you open the door, and you get a fresh breeze full of of air, and it's this just nature and such a blooming forest, and like it's green and it's lush, and we're not in an autumn style crunching leaves. This is like little tiny darts or like dart mouths or whatever, the little dragonflies are darting by, the gleam and coming through the sun, and you just sort of feel this everything is right in the world, and the universe doesn't give a shit about your problems. Nothing in the world can stop you. Like, oh man, this is so cool. Daryl says, man, I'm new to your videos. You're awesome. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate that. I hope that you find value in this. We're relaxing you guys right now.
Do this.
We don't usually do this. I sometimes teach this in my sessions.
Yeah.
But so you get to this cool summer forest. It's nice and cool. It's nice and hot. And you walk. You go for a walk, and we're walking. Nice and calm, nice and slow. We're walking through the grass. It's nice and short. And the green is piercing. It's like glowing green. Like the sun just hits it, and it just brings it to life. And it's almost like you can taste the sight. Like you're like tasting it with your eyes, and you're like, oh, this is so, so sweet. And you're just like absorbing all of this light energy that's like hitting you, and it's hitting the earth first, and it's going into you. It's going into you, into your heart, into your mind, into your subconscious. As we went through these levels, as we went through these doors, as we went through this walk, you've been unlayering. You've been going a little bit deeper side of you. You've been going one more layer deep. You've been one more layer through. And every time you take another step, every time you take another layer, another piece of your resistance goes away. Another piece of your imagination comes forth. Another piece of your limiting belief fades away. Another piece of this starts to actually let you go and let you flow. There's a reason why your affirmations aren't working. And there's a reason why we wanted to sort of trick your mind, let you go into this sort of relaxed level feeling. You're like, okay. So why are my affirmations not working? I can hear you guys. You're like, well, because your subconscious mind, programs the heck out of you. And, my parents taught me this. And before you even had a chance, you had no logical mind. Your brain was just recording what was happening. And it was basically picking up things that your parents were teaching you. School was teaching you. Bullies were teaching you. Friends were teaching you. Your siblings, your family, your cousins, the people on TV, Sesame Street. We were getting programmed at a very young age, which is a really solid reason why that this guy's here with us. I'm programming him right now. To the point even before you're born, where you're, still in the womb, listening to all the stuff that's happening out there. You're like, I'm just gonna stay in here. That's intense out there. I'm just gonna sip on my amniotic fluid and just hang out inside of the womb. And even at that point, your nervous system is connected to the emotional responses of Mama Bear. So before you even have a chance, that's why people say you're a product of your environment. Anybody out there who who are entrepreneurs out there who work a job that they're not necessarily the biggest fans of, and going to work just drains you, and you're like, oh man, I can't wait to get off and just film a video, or go out there and write a post, or go out and check on my leads, or talk to my people, or watch a webinar, or watch a training. I can't wait, because that's spiritual sustenance to help you move forward. And we're like, clink, clink, clink. We're taking this hammer and we're trying to smack against the hardened, crystallized version of our stories that we've been told and indoctrinated. They say you're only using less than 10% of your brain. I like to think that, and Sally can help me out here.
Yeah.
You
only need to use 10%.
You only need to use 10%?
10% of the time.
10% of the time? 10% of your brain, 10% of the time. Most of you is an autonomous creature. Most of you don't think about breathing. You don't think about digesting food. You don't even think about using your tongue muscle to swallow food when it's in your mouth. Try holding food in your mouth and keep on chewing it without swallowing it. It's tougher than it sounds. It's like, I'll just keep chewing things. Eventually, your tongue is gonna do like the breakdancing move, and it's gonna want to like swallow things that are going down.
Just like when you're driving, sometimes you don't even have to think about it. You just.
I remember before I started driving, I had dreams about not being able to brake. I had visions of not being able to steer. I had visions of not being able to like move the wheel. So like before you drive, you're faced with some fears of, well, my programming doesn't allow for driving. I've never programmed myself to drive before. I don't know what this looks like. It doesn't look like a video game controller where I'm just like doing this to drive. Now I actually have to do stuff, and like mistakes are expensive. Someone just hit our car the other day, and I'm like, no. And then the damage was about like $1,300 for a small little like ding like this big on my car, and I'm like, well, y'all gonna pay for that because I mean insurance, right? That's Canada, you know how that go. And like, we're insured, so obviously, we're gonna get it fixed. But like the reality is that the programming that you have inside of whatever you do, it sometimes goes through some stages. And the first stage is realizing, I got a problem. I don't like where I'm at. I don't like the things that I do. I don't like the people in my life, or I don't like the job that I have, or I'm not satisfied. I'm not fulfilled. So then, you try everything, and some of the more difficult things to do, like getting your butt in order and learning a discipline, is tough. So you're like, oh, let's just do the law of attraction. Like, if I believe in can, I'm a millionaire. I have millions of dollars in my bank account. I love it. But at the beginning, you're like, I have millions of dollars. No, you don't. I'm like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Yeah, right. Like the hell you do. They're like, oh yeah, we deserve to be successful. You don't deserve shit, bro. And this combat that you're dealing with, the fight, the inner fight. Because let's face it, if you're using less than 10% of your brain, if you're using like your consciousness and your ability to say stuff is using less than 10%, that's like over 90% of you that's in the background. That's like, cool story, bro. Yeah, right. Like, love to see that happen.
So who's gonna win, right?
Obviously, your subconscious is gonna win. Obviously, like there's no comparison. Your subconscious runs while you're sleeping. It knows when you are sleeping. And it does no contest. You can't help but like if you get into a car accident, God forbid, and it was with a red car, you see someone in red, it's gonna just trigger something in you. Your brain is a highly functioning, like highly precision mechanism that is designed to keep you safe, your life force alive. Like just try holding your breath until you can't even hold your breath anymore. Sooner or later, you're going to pass out. Sooner or later, you're going to lose consciousness because it's a safety shutoff valve that says, look, he's not doing this right. So you need to get put back into the back seat while the rest of your body does its automatic things now. Because you're like not in control. You're not in charge here. And that's why people are like, we get angry that we're not successful. We feel like there's something wrong with us. And, and all of these things happen.
Blame it on the marketing.
Well, you want to blame it on everything. You want to say, oh, we've done this. Sally's like, well, I just want to find that winning ad. Or if I just find that winning ad, I'm like, you are the winning ad. Like, you are the winning ad. Like, I don't understand like, you can't just say, if I only had that one thing. You are that one thing. Now you got to do that one thing over and over and over again. You can't just be a single slide in a movie. Yeah. You got to be like frames on frames on frames on frames on frames until you actually get to the place that you were meant to go. And before their movie can even begin, there's a vision, a movie playing in your head, an idea of what success wants to be. So it's okay if you're not, affirmations aren't working. You're like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I'm saying all the things. I love money and money loves me. And like, I'm saying it, like, but do you actually love money, or do you loathe not having it? Do you actually think that money loves you? Or are you stuck in a reality that says, well, if money loved me, then why the hell isn't it here? Why don't I have any? Why isn't it coming for me? It's because you don't love money and you don't feel that money loves you. That's the problem. And if you were to like, I mean, bad example, I fell in love with Sally before I even met her. But, usually you meet someone, you get to know them, you fall in love. She's my soulmate. We've been doing this for thousands of years. There's no big deal. Just relax. Like, hey. But at a certain point, when I met her for the very first time, whatever, first ever encounter, perhaps maybe I had to get to know her first. Perhaps maybe I had to, take her out on a date, and I had to, be friends with her or connect with her. So back to the analogy here, well, that was the analogy of wealth. Maybe perhaps it might be a good idea if you do something small by giving some money away, helping someone else who needs it, giving an extra tip, buying the coffee or the food for the person behind you, hooking up.
Be happy spending some of that money even on yourself, and you're investing on yourself.
Say thank you when you pay your bill. Thank you for paying my bills. Thank you for, working my ass off to get this done. Like, thanks for doing that. Like, thank you. You can have gratitude and magnetize love around what you have, which will absolutely tell the universe, all right, send in the big guns. Let's send in some more stuff. Let's give this person more of what they've got. The universe is a magnetic place. This isn't even a spiritual concept anymore. The more I learn about it, I'm like, man, we were so fooled. We were so fooled. They got you thinking that you can if you believe you can, and pray and, talk to the guides and the spirits and all that stuff. And you look at it again now, for anyone who studied this concept and this law of attraction, it is a magnetism. It is literally a force of scientific magnetism. You ever be next to someone, you're in a great mood, you're like, I'm coming up, I want the world to know. And then the person beside you is like, I hate everybody hates me. You're like, oh, I'm coming away from this person right now because I don't want to be around them. And you dance your way off. Otherwise, you're going to be like, oh, man, I feel like a bum. I feel crappy. This person doesn't like anything. And now I'm just being like, it's okay. You'll get
You're saying that, my stomach's hurting.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's okay. You'll get the next one. And they're like, no, I won't. God hates me. I'm going to die alone. And you're like in this, someone's in an angry state. And you're like, oh, well, that's
so painful.
That must hurt a lot. You're trying to find something to find some common ground or some common relatability, but you're like, this person's pulling me down and I really got to get the hell out of here. And sometimes people have that. They have that expectation. They have that anxiety. They're looking and they're like, I just want someone to feel my pain with me. Why? Because they don't want to feel it alone. Logically speaking, it's easier to go through your pity party when there's people around you, like misery loves company. And so you get a chance to either shine or be shone on or like be shunned or like go into darkness. Every day we have that choice. We live in this reality where you either live or you die. You grow or you don't grow. You're either growing or you're dying. And to think that, you get a chance to choose. And it's tough sometimes. Sometimes, like I'll get annoyed and then Sally gets annoyed that I'm annoyed. And then I get annoyed that Sally's annoyed that I'm annoyed. And then she says, no, it was you. And I'm like, no, it was you. And then it was like, no, fine, it was me. And then she's like, no, it wasn't you. And now, but I'm saying, no, it's me. Give me the blame. I'll take it. And it keeps on like trying to one up each other on the ego. And this is like a destructive pattern, right? And couples go through this. Families go through this. People go through this. And at a certain point, I just shut down. And I'm like, I need to change my state. And you can't just go from being like super angry, frustrated, pissed off, like, no, don't touch me. You didn't know, baby. No. And then just be like, I love you so much. Well, unless you're bipolar, which you kind of are. I would like to think that we all are that way, okay? But the reality is that the faster you can train yourself to change your state, the more you can focus on it. Because when you don't have things, you're focusing on, oh shit, I don't have it. This is painful. What my life sucks, and oh my god, and all this stuff. Alana just says it feels like I haven't been growing. You have. Don't do that. You've been growing. I know you've been growing. You just don't see it. Because I know you. And I know that you're just a very big giver. And so there's a blindfold around some people where their heart is bigger than their eyes. And even though they've been growing, they don't see it. They just can't see it. And yet you're running it. You're a boss woman. You got your business going. Your family's going. You raise your little boy. Like you're conquering.
It could be
You're-
her definition of growing as well. Could it be
Well, based on my
are you
definition,
basing
I
are you
definition, I
basing it
feel like
on-
you're growing. I feel like you're literally growing a human being. So I'm not sure where there may be a space where you're like, yeah, but in a certain space spiritually, I may be thinking I'm not growing in the place I want to. And I'm like, take it easy. Let's not worry so much. It's okay. Sometimes you gotta breathe. Sometimes, like we're on an up incline and we're learning stuff, and then we plateau, and then suddenly we start to lose our way, and then we come back up again. We're a wavelength. We go in from the day to the night, from the ebb and the flow, and the story, the duality is like a yin yang spinning around, carouseling your life. You get a chance to figure out where are you on the yin yang concept. Did you just spat on me? Did you spit on daddy? My little kids have been sick. It was so sad, and I'm just like, when your little kids get sick, you feel it, right? And you're just like, it's okay. And it was I was visioning this. Actually, it's funny. I had this conversation in my head earlier, and I was already talking to you guys through my head. I'm like, isn't it funny when kids get sick? Like it's such a teacher.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. Isn't it interesting? Shane, what's going on, my brother? How you feeling? This guy had a crazy chart. I'm unbelievable. My producer of Elevate Radio, Elevate Podcast, I got to figure out how to actually say it. Can you train me right now and tell me how do I shout out our station or the place where I'm going to be broadcast so I know? Because I'm just like Elevate Podcast Radio Station Consciousness Higher Level of Elevation, Elevator to Spirit, and I'm making up weird words. I don't know exactly because I'm growing. I'm not there yet. I'm still opening up to that. But isn't it interesting that when children get ill and they get sick, they just shut down. They just start revolting. One girl, when my one girl went to school and she's like, I'm sick. I'm like, you're not sick. Get to school. They call us from school saying she's not eating. She's burning a fever. You need to come and get her. I'm like, all right. I believe you. Fine. Come home. Let's go home. So she comes home and obviously she feels better now that she's at home. And she's like, I'm ready to play on my iPad. I'm ready to have fun. I'm like, no. You're sick, remember? And she actually was. She couldn't eat anything. You can't, when your throat is sore, you can't eat anything. So then she got the little kid sick. Next thing you know, these little two are burning a fever. And he breaks out into a rash. And we're like, oh my God, I'm a horrible parent. And then my other little girl, she's like, Mommy. And she goes, blah, and she throws up her blueberries. And I'm like, blueberry throw up. Now there's a taste, there's a smell that you can't really get out of your soul. And it's slimy, and I don't want to give you guys a mental picture, but although I just did. And she and they got sick, and they didn't cut it up. They didn't deny it. They needed to take their time to go through their journey. They needed time to actually go. They don't have their defenseless. They're not, oh, the show must go on. They're not, oh, I got to get to work. The bills need to get paid. When they're sick, they're going to say, Mommy, and then here, look what I did. Yes. I don't feel good. They just release what they're doing. Then we got to take a really big page from our children here and recognize how innocently powerful they are. Now back to the forest for a minute, because you're sitting there and you're like, whoa, Bobby, just blew my mind, man. That was crazy. This is so cool. And I'm like, you're just an inner child we're searching for in there. There's a part of you in there that didn't care when you were sick. And my little boy Stanley, when he got sick,
had to go through that.
He just pooped his pants. That was it. He didn't care. And he was just like, I did it again. And I'm like, you're going to lose stomach, buddy. It's okay. And it's an opportunity to let him know it's okay. Accidents happen. You're not feeling good. Guys, we have to be nice to Stanley right now. He's not feeling good right now. Let's give him love. Let's help him heal. My little boy breaks out in a rash, and I'm like, Reiki level 2. I'm gonna do this, and I basically went all over him, and I massaged his body, and I put on our special magic water on him, and we disinfected him and all this stuff, and I put like a nature salve, this cream thing that Sally's super organic all about, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm massaging his legs and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, my sweet little son, right? I'm so sad that. As a dad, right? Your first time your little one starts burning a fever. For any brand new parents or any parents out there that experience it for the first time, I'm like, man, this is a magical experience. He's gonna be okay. the first thing I thought was like, oh, it's just a heat rash. He's caught a little fever. It's no big deal.
Mm.
He's new, right? So all these kind of new things. We gave him curry for the first time. You know, our buddy Jamie's here with us, and we have visitors over, and like my girl comes home sick, and there's like a carousel of variables. The last thing I'm gonna do is be like, go to my phone and be like, oh my God, he's got skin cancer, and oh my God, and like we don't want to go in that direction. And you go to you spend enough time on Google doctoring yourself, you're gonna get cancer.
Yeah.
And that's just basically what happens. And you gotta relax and recognize that it's in the mind.
Yeah, focus on what you want the result to
But then the programming comes in that says, hey, well, I don't want to be in pain. I want to prevent pain. I'm gonna be worried about pain because pain is a place that makes me upset. So increase the fear mechanism, let that thing run. And like Sally's got this, okay? Like the car got hit, and we were at a stop sign. And then this lady's the light goes green, and she wants to turn into the right lane, and I'm here. And she's like, you know, so we come from the crawling stop, and she's coming closer. I'm like, no. And it was literally in slow motion. I'm trying to fiddle with my freaking thumbs to find the horn. And I'm like, there's a phone button, there's like a left, right, up, down, okay. I'm like, this isn't a game controller. This is a real life situation. Don't hit my new car. And in all that time, she just went like this, went, and I'm like, oh, I just had it cleaned. Oh God, this is a brand new car. And I get out, and like literally the damage is this big, okay? Like it's literally this big. But when I get out there, it's like this big. And I'm just like, this muscly, angry, bearded Indian dude comes out of a black, fresh 4Runner, right? I'm dressed in black. I go out, and I'm just like, I close the door. I'm doing this, like, tongue in cheek. Look at Grandma. Is Abuelita there? Hi, Gigi. Hi, Grandma. My mom is here. Someone hit our car, Mom.
Oh, you haven't told her?
That's what Stanley does. Like, is anyone looking? This last funny. So then this lady hits my car, and I go up to it. I'm just like, it was a girl. This lady hits my car, and I look up to the damage, and I'm like, oh God, that's a brand new car. It just hit me. It's like, and she's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah, she's Indian, and I'm just like,
so sorry.
It's calming my nerves, bro, people. I'm calming my nerves here. It was like a small little butter kiss, okay? It was like we were at a stop sign, so it wasn't an impact. So then I go to the car, and I'm like, oh, I love you. I'm so sorry. I turn around, I go up to her, and I pull out my phone, and I'm like, you know, can you imagine that feeling? I go up to her, I'm like, are you okay? We're fine, right? You're fine. It's all right. Accidents happen. It's okay. I get it. You know, no worries. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Can we pay? Can we do this outside of ICBC? Whoever just dropped in laugh emojis, I am so mad at you. Don't laugh at my pain.
It's the way.
Anyways, it's the way I tell a story. So anyway, so I'm like taking her phone number down and putting it back, right? And then I'm just like, I get back into the car, and I'm like, my song is ruined. My perfect sunny days is gone, and I'm like got a rain cloud over my head. And then I'm like, it's still a sexy car. It looks good. It's clean. Like, don't worry about it, you know. At least you're okay. And then so I call Sally. I'm like, yeah, someone bumped into the car. She's like, you can't drive the car. The car's broken. We got to get new car seats. How's your neck? How's your back? No, it's structurally damaged and this and that. I'm like, just relax. She's like, no. You're calling ICBC right now, and you got to do this and call the police. Are the police there? Did you call the Pope? Let's get Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris. And like, you know, she's like, I'm exaggerating for theatrical effect, but she's just like, you know, making a big deal. She was exaggerating. So then I was just like, it's not that accident, honey. Let's not do this. Please don't do this to me right now. Like, my ego's hurt a little bit because the car got hit, and listen, I'm just coming home. I just want to let you know that I'm going to be an extra few minutes, okay? Like, it's a fender bender. Like, not even. It's a fender ding, right? And so I was like, okay. Don't know where I was going with that story.
But we were talking about, like, how she was growing and, like, maybe you have a different definition of growing. Could it be that one?
Well, a really solid gem that you can pull from this is that being able to change and manage your state and to realize what's inside of there for you can have a dramatic effect on how you see the universe and how the universe sees you.
Mm-hmm.
I could have gone out there, slammed my door. What were you thinking? Are you serious? Like right there. I remember one time someone was tailing me, and I was like maybe 15 years ago, so I was like 17, 18. I literally got out of my car with a bat. I went up to the window and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you like, what, do you want to go? The guy's like, ah! And he ran away. I'm like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And I literally did this at the corner of Port Moody and Ioko or whatever it was back in the day. And I got back in my car, threw the bat in. I'm in my SIR, my Civic, my 1999 Civic. I'm like, oh, get the hell out of here. I'm going, like, sounded like a lawnmower, right? And like, this is where I've come from. You know, this guy's tailing me and I'm irritated and I aggressively shake a baseball bat at him. Don't ask me what I was doing with a baseball bat in my car. Like, I was not that type of person. I just thought, here's my chance to look really cool and get back at all the bullies who bullied me. And then this time I'm like, I got out of my car and I'm just like, are you okay? Is everybody all right? Like, you know, are you all right? You okay? And it reminds me a lot of my mom. And my mom will be like, you'll tell her something and she'll be like, oh, and then she'll like, you know, like, oh my God, what could have happened if you know, and then she'll like play out the story. God bless my mom. You had a bat in your car? I did. I don't know what it was doing there. It wasn't like there for any nefarious purposes. Like, I don't know what it was doing in there, but it was in my car for some reason. And I'm like, it was weird. And I don't even think it was my bat, but it was a bat. Okay. I never batted someone, but I was a Batman, right? So I had a bat in my car, whatever. But yeah, it was really silly, really silly. You remember my weird looking blue car that looked kind of like a techno scene, like a techno disco. But yeah, so you know, we've come a long way in consciousness. Sometimes you need to have a dramatic experience. Sometimes you experience trauma. Maybe you have to go through loss. Maybe you have to have your heart ripped to shreds. Maybe you have to have your bank account ripped to shreds. Maybe it's your ego that gets ripped to shreds. But what happens is that something is going to have an emotionally, like they call it a peak emotional experience. Tony Robbins does this. You know, a lot of people talk about this peak emotional experience, putting your hand on a stove, you know, like kissing a girl for the first time, getting arrested for the first time. I've not been arrested more than a few times. Anyway, details. A peak emotional experience is enough to unseat some of your deeper stuff, and you're kind of like, whoa, and there was like a bit of turbulence. And even the word turbulence can make my mom's hair stand on end. She's like, we can't all go flying together in the same plane, and we have to make sure. And it's like, she doesn't like when the plane flips around and like does a loop-de-loop and turns around and gets swayed by the clouds. And Sally does the same thing. We're sitting there, and the plane's just like, right, and she's like, and then I look at her, she's like trying to like laugh it off between crying, right? She's just like, you know, like trying to relax on the plane. I'm like, how you want to travel so much you can't even take a little turbulence? And you know, it's crazy because fear can really get the best of you. Fear is there, and I would like to think that if you can become, they say this in the gym, right? People say this, you know, like love the pain. Feel the burn, get in love with the burn, right? Like, get in love with the pain, like, feel it. That's like right when you can't push it.
Embrace it.
You embrace it. That's where growth happens. Fear is false evidence appearing real, right? Or face everything and rise, or face everything and run. You get a choice. Fear is an ingredient in bravery. Fear is an ingredient of courage. You need fear, a healthy sense of it, in order to get stuff done in your life. I believe that.
Protect yourself.
Otherwise, we wouldn't know what success feels like, okay? Hey, Franny, what's going on, my little cutie pie baby? Isn't he getting big? You're getting big, aren't you? You're such a sweetie, but baby. Oh, so cute. But I am deathly afraid of making sure my son is okay. You know, like if he bonks his head or, you know, he's playing with toys and he suddenly drops and like there's a thud and everyone comes running and everyone's like, are you okay? And he's like, no, pick me up. And you pick him up. He's like, oh, that's better. And it was because he had a peak emotional experience and then he's getting supported through his challenge. That's what happens with us. So if you're in a tough spot, give yourself a hug. If someone else is in a tough spot and you're having a challenge, is it worth it? Is the emotional experience worth your ego? And chances are, like 100% of the time, it's not. And your ego has a chance to show you its true strength. The weak ego will pull up the sword. The strong ego will put the sword down and decide not to fight and win through that. So you get a chance to think, oh my God, I'm in a fear. I'm going to make this money. I don't want to do something, right? And then it's going to push the thing even further away from you because you're rejecting. You're in a state of repulse. You're in a state of worry. You're moving everything away from you so you can create this like thing inside of your like a fake little universe where things haven't happened and you're just playing off fear and you're just playing off your energy and plucking your hair out, your energy out and stressing yourself over what happens. That's why they say, you know, oh, I've got daughters and that's why I'm bald, or like, you know, like I stress myself out so I, you know, lose all my hair and stuff like that. And I'm like, I got all my hair and like I'm just a big kid. Everything's gonna stress you out. Like you're not gonna make it. You may as well just get used to that fact that you're here on borrowed time, and every moment worried is a moment wasted. And you can think, you know, like, oh, I don't have the time to do anything. It's because you're spending most of your time in a fear of what you're afraid to make a decision on, or you're afraid to decide on, you're afraid to move forward in.
You're afraid to get out of your comfort zone.
You're afraid to get out of your comfort zone.
Out of your box.
Because it's comfortable. And I mean, even right now, like, so super cool. We brought in support. We brought in an unbelievable mentor in our lives. My boy Jamie is here from Australia. And he's basically training us. He's helping us with our diet. He's helping us get fit for our wedding. And, you know, there's a shift because me and Sally are the type of people that, you know, and it's late and we're late, you know, in our day, and the kids been bugging us all day. And, you know, I'm the type of person who's an addictive personality. I'm like, skip the dishes. Let's get some Burger King delivered to the house, or maybe Pizza Hut delivered to the house, or McDonald's delivered to the house, or something negative delivered to the house. And then we basically go and eat negative food late at night. So we created a culture on this, and it's so amazing to fall in love with someone who loves you for who you are. And she's like, you're my chubby yet lean, like, love. And I'm like,
chubby like baby.
Chubby yet lean. She goes, chubby like baby. Oh, you're so, you know, chubby and yet you're lean. I'm like, that's like, you can't.
Right,
Yeah, lean right here and chubby right here. I get it. Like, yeah, I get it. Thanks, honey. It's so good to fall in love with someone who absolutely loves who you actually are, and then you don't have to, like, you know, fake it, and you can still feel like I've been the heaviest I've ever been, and also felt the most attractive and the most fulfilled I've ever had.
Same way, because you always say, I don't need
such a sexy woman, and
I'm so beautiful.
I know, and I'm like, sometimes I even get stunned.
Today, I told you.
Yeah, like sometimes I get stunned. I wake up and I take pictures of them when they're sleeping. I'm like, creepy. I'm like, just relax. This is my wife and my kid, right? They're sleeping, and baby's just like sleeping like this, like looking so cute. And Sally's like this. She's like this. She's like, and she looks like that when she's sleeping. And I'm like, and she's still beautiful to me. And then I go up to, like, you know, kiss her, and she's like, that's how she wakes up. She's like, and like the first words she hears in you know, in the day is, I love you. And that's the first thing I want to bring to her life when she wakes up, is to think I'm grateful for her. I nuzzle into her neck, and I just thank the Lord. I thank the stars that I got out of my darkness and into my light to find my woman. She couldn't see me when I was in the darkness, and she manifested me, so she says.
Yeah,
you know,
I use law of attraction.
She used law of attraction to bring me out of the woodwork. And I believe that really brings us to a stronger point. You may have a difficulty with your affirmations, but this comes back to that real big conversation that we're about to have in a second. God has a plan. The universe has your back. You like to say that. My baby's boy is like, clink. He's like, yep.
But you have the will.
So the universe, God, whatever, cosmos, Jesus, has a plan for you. And I just posted this picture. I was like, this is so funny. I gotta show it to you guys. I was gonna show it to you guys because I was like, ah. So let's go. Where is it? I was gonna show it to you right now. It was right there on here. And I'm like, this is so funny. Universe, I have a plan for your life. And your spirit guide's like, let's do this together. And I'm there being like, I laughed at that one. I thought that was pretty funny. Laugh at it with me, everyone. And it's funny because at a certain point, your affirmations don't mean nothing. What you think you can or can't do, the hand of God will force you.
Maybe you can attract the small ones, but you're wondering why you can't
get the big ones.
The big ones.
Well, it's because you're, not eating right, not going to the gym. You go to the gym and you see the big weights and you're like, and you can't even carry them. So at the very beginning, why not just go and start small? Why not start small before you go to the big kahuna? Why not go for the small ones first? The tiny little affirmations. I'm going to let this one pass. Everything all in good timing. Just let go and let God. It's all good.
You gotta let
Don't
go
worry. Let's surrender. Let's just surrender for a minute. Don't carry it with you. It's okay. Bad things happen. It's all good. Don't worry. We'll learn from this. And then it gets a little bit better to think, what am I learning from this? Why is this benefiting me? What's going to happen next? Ooh, something bad just happened. That means something great's going to happen. Or to even go to the bigger one and say, there's a meaning behind this. Quick, something bad happened. Take snapshots. What's happening? Let's go in. Let's get the forensics. What are we learning here? What are we growing through?
Pay attention to how you feel.
Paying attention to how you feel. Creating a space and a moment for you in between your reaction. I had a lot of aggression and a lot of anger and angst and abuse inside of my life. They're showing up inside of my life and my family and everything. And this reality was to think I needed to create a holy space and wedge that right in between that moment of action and realize, is this worth it? Am I going to gain from this? Am I going to lose out of this exchange? Is this something I want my kids to learn? Is this something I want to be using to define my success? Am I growing from this? And these bigger affirmations are it was crazy because you don't even realize the growth that we go through. The amount of stuff that we've actually been through. When Jamie was like, man, your inspiration is so inspiring. And I'm like, because our conversation was so inspirational. Because we went to the Toyota dealership and I'm in there and I'm like, I saw my car salesman, the one who sold us our car, just a saleswoman. I'm like, hey, what's up? Fist bumps. How you doing? Yeah, we still driving our car. We loving it, but someone hit me. And as a matter of fact, it's been 6 months. Can we upgrade or something? Can I get a bigger car? Because this is not big enough, and I want the Sequoia. I want the big one.
But it was 8 months.
8 months, whatever, something like that. November. And we started coming into conversation, and I got an idea, and I was about how much it was going to cost. And needless to say, it was a bit more than I wanted to pay for a lease that I just got into. But the equity was going to sort of turn over in a year. If you guys don't know cars, basically the car at 7 seaters in a Toyota 4Runner, we've maxed out the space already. So I'm like, I need a bigger car. How am I supposed to get a bigger car and upgrade my car? And the conversation was in there to think my ability to see into the future is so strong that I'm not afraid to ask a question and see. And I felt like my dad sitting there, in my success. I've got my baby carrier on. I got my phone with me. My little girl's playing. I'm doing dad of the year stuff right here. Letting mom do her business by herself so she can have a little bit of a break by herself, right? Give Jamie a break as well, to create her wealth. So here I'm at the dealership working, multitasking, and at the same time having a conversation. Can we get into a bigger car? It's a bit too expensive for me for my wealth consciousness at this time. We'll get there. It'll we're manifesting it. We're obviously having these conversations, and I looked at it and I'm like, for the price of the upgrade, I should just be buying our Tesla. Why would I, pay for the mistake of getting a car that's too small and then go and upgrade to a next car that's only going to be a bigger gas guzzler? Might as well take all that money and put it into a Tesla. So already in my upsell, I upselled myself to a Model X Tesla because that's the car we really want to drive, which is coincidentally smaller than our 4Runner, which I'm like, what?
More space.
But it's more space because it's there's no engine, so there's a trunk in the front and a trunk in the back, and it's a cool looking ride. freaking suicide doors on the side. I'm like, man, we gonna fly. It's gonna be an awesome place to see us. You're gonna love it. Like deep red. We're gonna have a deep red one, and it just looks like a candy cane. Santa been good to Bobby. Santa been good to Bobby. And that's what you got to do with I mean, it's because sooner or later, you program yourself enough. You go into your state long enough. You spend time in the spiritual gym of figuring out who you are, and you let God be your personal trainer here. You're going to get to the place where God says, yo, dude, relax. That's what happened to me in my dream. I was working for like 4 years on this, trying to find the love of my life, trying to create the business of my dreams, trying to figure this out. And God's like, dude, bro, chill. Chill, bro, dude, chill, bro. Yo, bro, chill, dude, chill. And I'm having a dream where this woman's coming and kissing me. And I woke up and I'm like, nice. And it was like the way I said it. And God was like, see, dude, I got you. Just relax. Just chill, bro. It's coming. Just, just relax. See, I showed you. And I felt that's what the message was. I was like, nice. And then I immediately felt, see? Like that's what the universe was saying to me, like, see? And that's what Sally and I always say to each other. And it's Spanish for yes. It's like, yes, see? See. That, and if you can't see your vision, if you can't see your future, if you can't see what's coming up next, if you can't see beyond
able to overcome that challenge if you can't see where you're going.
But you know who else couldn't see? The eagle when it was trapped in its shell. And at a certain point, the shell wasn't going to serve it anymore. The safe comfort zone that protected the ooey gooey bits while you were growing are no longer going to hold you. They're not going to be able to hold you anymore. You're going to break free and you're going to become something else. The butterfly does it. The maggots do it. The eagles do it. The people do this. Everything does this. So please, guys, for the love of your life and the love of your universe, relax. Relax. Half of the things you're fighting don't even exist.
Appreciate them, though. Like, just say thank you and just send them back to the universe and let it heal and grow.
I will take that one further, and I will say don't even let it go until you get all the value from it that you truly deserve. And sometimes bad things lead to good things. Sometimes
you need the challenge.
Napoleon Hill says the seed of fail, or the something of something.
Something of the seed.
There's a seed of opportunity inherent in every situation. So if something bad happens, there's something you get out of it. Yeah. If something doesn't work
so you almost
properly,
want to have them just so, because oh yeah, I know I'm gonna have something good happen soon. So. And
it almost reframes everything, and people are then they're looking at me. They're like, Bobby, how are you so positive? I'm like,
looking forward to
what?
It. Right?
How you mean I'm so positive? All this bad stuff happens to me. You're like, no, man, you're always on point. You're always doing something. You're always happy and like. This and that. I'm like, man, that's so cool. I appreciate, those wise words, because I'm always feeling like I'm stuck in my own cloud, or I need to get out of my own way, or I need to, figure myself out or something. And, you get to this point now where it's like, I look back and I'm like, man, I got my son. I got my parents proud of me finally. I'm living my life. I'm doing things here. Like my life looks good. I'm only getting started. And I'm in my 30s. I'm a young parent. I'm doing it. And then people, and it's funny because I have this joke going with myself. And I'm like, oh, you go to the island to retire. I'm like, yeah, I did. I went to retire. I came out here to retire. I don't go to a job. I don't go to work. I don't go to, my work is my mission and my vision. I don't have my book here. My purpose. My work is my purpose. Like,
your passion.
God put man to work. He put Adam to work in the Garden of Eden before he gave him his Eve. So the same way that you want to look inside of your life, what area of your existence are you are you working for?
Working to grow.
What groundwork are you laying for the harvest of your life? What are you going to go out there? What blisters are you going to get? What calluses? What growth are you going to go through? What sweating hot, heated sun, despair weather are you going to have to endure in order to get to your promised land? You look at the Bible, it's all over the place. You look at life, it's all over the place. And you see some people who are not even lucky enough or they're not blessed enough to fulfill their journey, and they're off quickly. Someone goes on a bad deal, or maybe you go and do it yourself, or maybe a car accident, freak of nature, something happens to you, done. You don't even know. And it's insane, because even my parents have these conversations with us before they're traveling, and it's like, I get it, like, but today is not that day. And I always want to joke around with them, and I'm like, can I get that in writing? Like, what would happen if in the event? But the reality is that you are here for a purpose, I believe, and will be contained and set here until Grandma's bedtime tonight. Okay, let's give Grandma a nice little
Love you.
a nice little view of my baby boy right up front. Hi.
Just got a little bit of
Say hi, Grandma. Love you, Grandma. Dance break. Dance break. Dance break. This is like my life now. He just distracts me, and I just need to go dance. Happy baby. This is awesome. He's a happy baby. Are you happy, baby? Yes, I'm a happy baby. Are you happy, baby? Yes, I'm a happy baby. It's like, that's it, Dad. Oh, get out of here, Dad.
When you do that.
Aw, Daddy, love you. Give yourselves a break, guys. Cut yourselves some slack.
So you were talking about affirmations and why sometimes they don't work. We say, how do we say it? How do we say affirmations? I am wealthy, for example. But you could say, I am wealthy, but I could be wealthier. Or you could say, I'm wealthier every day. I get wealthier every day.
It gets better and better and better every day. Better and better every day.
And then you gotta make sure that you really clear the conflicting beliefs of what you're
So here's a nice little trick for you guys, because we're coming up to the end of our time together. Imagine you're trying to combat some of the stuff that's happening. You're like, well, I'm saying all the affirmations, I believe in it, but then I look at my bank account and it doesn't magically disappear. That's not how it works. You have to recognize you have done things in the past that have led to your not experiencing wealth in this present moment. You have had actions in the past that do not reflect the future vision of where you want to go. Right now, you are creating a definition for how powerful your success is. If you made $1 million and then you make $1,001, that's not very successful. You're just like right there with where you started. But if you lost $1 million and then you made $1 million and you go back to normal, you make back your $1 million and then you become a millionaire, the rise is double. The gap that you go through is double. So if you're going through a bad moment right now and it keeps on getting worse and you don't know how this can get any worse, you're actually creating an equal reaction for how good it's going to be one day and how powerful it's going to be one day and how much you're going to enjoy and respect what you have. Because if I had gotten this before and I had gone through my drug addictions and all this stuff, I probably would have lost this all in that journey. I probably would have been one of the people that didn't make it inside of your heart and you gave it to, and we wouldn't have been able to be here. And I would have a broken family. I would be the one watching this woman fall in love with someone else, having someone else take care of my kids. That's a woo. Like, oh, mama. Like, that makes me feel like I need my mommy, because it scares the heck out of me to know where I've been and know how dark it's been and know those walks I used to go on to go and pick up drugs by myself. Like, duh. I had to go through that in order to actually get to where I am now. Because now I would have never talked about that story when I was a kid. I would have never told people about the abuse that I went through because of the fact that I was too proud. Too proud. But now I'm like, people need to know. They need to hear it. Y'all need to know the story. Y'all need to know what's up. So you know that I got that street cred. You know that I got it. And I'm not just talking out my bum. I'm actually speaking power. I'm actually breathing life. Instead of just like, you could do it. Guys, just because you haven't done it before or you've been screwed up before, you've lost everything, I guess that is just, I contradict myself because yes, you can do it. But the reality is that you're not going to get there until you know where you've been. And it's not about where you've been. It's about where you're going. So if you're battling conflicting thoughts about why, I want this, but this is what I have, just take this is what I have and reframe it. This is what I have done in the past that has led me up till now. These are the actions that I have taken at one moment. I have at one point been of a lack of wealth or a lack of consciousness or a lack of understanding. I have displayed those behaviors. Give it some space to go and exist. Because once you do, it no longer holds power over you. It's the difference. Do you see how empowering that is? They're like, oh, I'm broke. I got no money. I can't go out. As opposed to saying, I have made decisions in the past that has led me to a reality right now where I'm not experiencing the wealth that I'm going to experience. And there's a difference in the tone there that says, look, he's still dancing around the fact that he's broke, but at the same time, at least he's not poor. At least he's got the mindset to actually go out there and create something and make it happen.
Is just temporary.
Broke is you fix things that are broke. But if you're poor, oh, you're poor you, right? Then you get sympathy. Like, oh, you don't so, oh, broken you. If you're broken, you fix it. Your body will repair and heal itself. Give it enough time. And that's the problem that we have is that our consciousness minds are like less than 5% of our mental faculty. And here we go around. This is the part that's frustrating. Because I've done this. Here we go around telling the world. It's like we live based on that 5%. And we're like, well, how am I going to get it done? How is it logically going to, how are you going to figure it out? How does it matter? It doesn't matter. You have how is irrelevant.
You just need to know where you want to go,
and God will unfold the way. Literally. You get a chance to choose. And this brings us, what does the universe want you to know? That you get a chance to pick the one you want. It's a candy store, and you are here as a winner of that lottery. You beat out billions of other sperm, millions of other chances, how many different relationships, so that two people could come together in one single moment and create a value that is you. Don't forget that for a minute, guys. You actually have won the game, and you're here in human form, fiddling around, manipulating, manifesting energy, and yet fear seems to overtake us and run over because it's an outdated safety mechanism that would protect you and your family from getting eaten by a carnivorous beast back in the older wilderness days of cavemen. We are no longer cavemen. No one's coming to break my windows. No one's coming to shoot up my house. No weird-looking animals are coming to destroy us. They see us and they run because they're afraid of human beings. And we're afraid of human beings. We're afraid of ourselves. Oh, boy.
Don't be afraid.
Face everything and rise.
Make decisions based on love, not based on fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can even look at faith. Faith is faith, energy, actual reality. I don't know. I'm just saying words. We're like, oh, that's profound. That was a freestyle. Let's relax. But what is your fear going to do for you? Is it going? And this is it. Fear. Imagine the bursting flame, and you've got this fear. It's fire. You're like, ah. Are you going to use this underneath your pot and to use it as a fire to cook your meal of life? Or is fear going to be, and next thing you know, you're that other picture that I show where the dog is sitting at his kitchen table and his whole house is on fire and he's like, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. And you're not. And yet your fear is consuming you. And sometimes we need to burn down. Sometimes we need to absolutely absolve ourselves into that fear energy so that we can get back down into the thing that goes, because you know what you can use fear for? Forging steel, cooking a meal, keeping warm, giving life, giving light, fueling you, fueling your car. Explosions do everything. And this is what we want to do, is we want to take that energy and focus it so that we can actually make an explosion in a controlled environment where you're like, burst of energy. Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to throw up on my workout. Or I'm afraid that my legs are going to give out. Or I'm afraid I can't do this anymore. push yourself to that moment. That's healthy fear. I'm afraid I'm going to get hit by a bus. That's a healthy fear. Don't run in front of a bus. Or I'm afraid that my prospect's going to, judge me, or they're going to say no. That is not a adult fear. That's a childhood fear. That's not a real fear. That's just your ego not wanting to be rejected. And once you've dealt with a lot of rejection, this is my life, okay? It's not a big deal anymore. You're like, I don't care. And you see some of those people who are like serial daters, like absolute charmers. And they're like, who cares? I'll get slapped in the face, drink thrown on me, kicked in the nuts. Doesn't matter. It feels good. I like it. It's part of the rush. And I'm like, you sick kid. And they're like, oh no. Trust me, it's all good. Like, you may strike out a few times, but odds are you'll find someone who likes the rush and they love that you're confident, and they'll accept the fact that you're like, hey, what's going on? So what's your number? Or where am I taking you out next Friday? And they're like, you're not taking me out this Friday. I'm like, of course I am. And there are going to be some people who are like, I like this. Oh, you're confident. And other people will be like, you're such a jerk. You didn't know. You're not taking me out anywhere. And like, okay, great. You're not passed by, and they're not going to get stuck on that rejection. Hello, my son. They're not going to get stuck on that rejection because they know how to move on quickly. So you can definitely tell a lot for that, for sure, between where people are. Are you so cute? Look, it's you. It's you. Say hi. I love you guys. I love you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. Let's peer into your future right now. Let's peer into the future of your success and decide.
Or maybe you know your vision now. You know where to go, but somehow, and then you make a plan. But somehow something's stopping you. And then you don't know how you're going to get there. And it's because you make a plan and then you stop doing it because of your programming, because of all these limiting beliefs. So we just need to really clear them so that we can make space for positive ones that will really serve us.
At any given moment, I'm going to leave you guys with this, okay? At any given moment, you have the ability to say anything. You could say something offensive. You could say something supportive. You could speak in confidence. You could speak to your fear. You have right now this one. You could press end on the live and be like, screw you, Bobby. You could go and unplug the computer. You could jump out a window. You can go get some water. You'd be like, oh, she's talking about burgers. I want a burger now. Like, you got a choice to make. So look at your choices. Imagine you're in like a director's chair. And in front of you is an endless wall of TVs. And on every single TV is a possibility. Every single TV is a possibility. And the universe is like, would you like a little bit of this? Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test. And, you get to choose. You get a smorgasbord of reality. Ooh, that one looks tasty. Ooh, that one looks spicy. Ooh, I'm not going to eat that one again. My stomach didn't really agree with that.
So you're going to give that back, and then you take the one that you really desire.
The analogy that I'm going for here is that you get a chance to look. And some of your numbers, numerology, I'm a numerologist, no big deal, whatever. So some of your numbers are focused in HD clear reality, and you're looking at HD screens. Some of you guys, that half the TVs ain't even turned on, and you can only see one or two channels, and you're like, oh, this cable sucks. I got a job or I got to die. Like, I'm just going to work my job until I die. And there's only two real big possibilities for you. Maybe you can take him. He's going after so there's only really two big possibilities for you. So I invite you right now to take the remote control of your life. Take the remote control of your life, and it's the same TV. All right, you got 100 screens. So you press the remote once, and they all turn on. And you're in this moment. You're in this moment of like, there's that one. There's the one I'm successful. There's this one I get married, and I open my eyes and I look, and the full moon is like about to be beaming tomorrow, next day. So, there's the success, there's my business, there's my love life. Oh, there's where I don't become successful. This is where I get into a car accident. This is the one and you get a chance to choose which movie are you going to watch.
Mm-hmm.
If you go skiing or snowboarding, the instructor says, look at the goal, don't look at the tree. If you look in the tree, you're going to go into the tree. What you focus on expands. Quite literally, if you're going down a mountain and you see a small tree and you're like, ah, and it gets bigger and expands into your face. The same thing with your challenge. The same thing with your problem. The same thing with your joy. The same thing with your opportunity. Challenge is an opportunity. It's a challenge to succeed.
Yeah.
So you get a chance to look at your TVs and be like, what am I watching today? What thoughts am I going to think? What things am I going to go through? Am I going to be Bill Murray from Groundhog Day and just live the same thing over and over and over again? Or am I going to switch the channel? And sometimes you switch the channel and it doesn't come in clear and you got to tap the TV a bit. Maybe you're halfway through the plot. You don't know what's going on. But you get to decide which timeline is going to be of benefit for you. You're the one in control of that. So, peer into the future of your success. What does it look like? What does it look like on your spaceship of success?
Ooh.
How much money did you make? Wasn't about the money, was it? You made all the money you needed.
It's not about the material.
It's not about the material.
It's
What people did you save? What did you do? What did you accomplish? You're reading it, aren't you? You're seeing it, aren't you? It's like blasting right through you. 1 hour, 11 minutes.
true.
And right now, 6, 7, 8. You ready for this? Right now, it's getting locked in. 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds into the go live. Mwah.
Can I guess?
What?
You said what?
What?
So my answer is, it's the feeling you get.
Well, that's a magnet. Your feelings are magnets. So you need to have your feeling in order to actually magnetize what you're feeling. And that's why I'm telling you to peer into your success here. And I don't know if you felt it. I don't know if you experienced it right at that moment when I like just mentioned that, to think, oh my God, what does my success look like? Oh, I have a family, or I've gotten the cars I want, or I bought the toys I wanted, or I go to traveling and see the beaches I want to see, or I go and
And how did it make you feel?
how did it make you feel?
Yeah.
Or I bought a Virgin Space, like Virgin Space, like they go into space now. I'm going to go into outer space. I bought my ticket. I'm going to go and circle the planet, go on a space cruise. Imagine that. People leaving the planet. So freaking cool, guys. You get a chance to decide. You're the magnet. You're the driver. And look at that. Look at my son. It's so weird. It's so nuts.
It's
Like,
good
I
that
look
you're
at him,
feeling
I'm like-
excited, Franny.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like I look at him, I'm like, dude, that's me. Like I was so me a second ago, like a couple of years ago. It even looks like me without a beard. But this is my destiny, is to have my little boy, to have my family, have my Sally. And I chose this before I could even choose this. I was sent here on a mission to get this done. And all of the stuff and the clouds and the fog that was in front of me didn't stand a chance. My self-defeat, the lack of me doing what I needed to do. Oh, my little cutie. Didn't stand a chance. So I bring this message to you guys here to think that if you're going through a tough time, keep going. Acknowledge it, drop it. This is what I used to do. This is what has led me up till now. One of my the most powerful things that Balaj ever taught me, my mentor and partner in business.
Okay.
He's like, what you have now is a result of what you have been doing. And what you get next is a result of what you do now. What you have now is a result of your past.
Mm-hmm.
What you are experiencing now is where you've been. If you continuously look at what you don't have, you're going to get more of that in your future. What you get in your future is a result of where you are now. So take up arms. Take up arms against the negative version of your, mindset and your programming, and hire a coach, read a book, listen to an audio, repeat. Hire a coach, listen to a book, read an audio. Listen to a book and read an audio. Try that. Read a
And
book,
share.
listen to an audio, learn, teach, share, learn, teach, share. Get into a mechanism of growth that allows you to absolutely get a momentum behind this. Sooner or later, you can't even help it. At a time of need, the hero ignites. It's in that dark moment where he finds his power. And from then, he leads a hero's journey and goes on to save a lot of people. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Sally, got any cool things to say?
Oh yeah. So another thing, like when you're doing your affirmations, for example, I want that house, or I desire that house by the beach or mountain, and you really have to pay attention to why do you want that? Because when we desire something, we desire because the feelings that we're gonna get from it, the feelings that you're gonna get from when you have that. Sometimes we ask for something, and when you get it, it's not the same feeling that you thought you were gonna get. So it's really important that you tell the universe why you want it, the feelings that you're trying to achieve from that. Otherwise, if you just say, oh, I just want money, or I just want the house, and there's no reason, you don't know why you want the house, then the universe is not going to give it to you if it's not aligned to your purpose. It has to be aligned with you.
And I'll tell you guys, like, this was everything I dreamed of, and it was even better in real life. It came with its challenges.
Did it give you the same feeling that you thought you were going to get?
Well, I mean, it gave me a lot of feelings. I definitely felt the success of what it feels like, and that joy right there. It's like awesome. You don't know if he's laughing or crying.
Both.
And even the friendship that me and my Sally have, like, it's fulfilling. Absolutely everything I dreamed of. Of course, it also had its baggage. It also had its other parts. It had its parts of me that I hadn't healed yet, parts of Sally that haven't grown yet. And that's why we came to each other when we did. And I remember one time I even apologized to Sally. I'm like, I wish I was the man that she deserved. You know what I mean? Like the one that was already potent and already ready to go and already done. And that kind of defeats the purpose. Because then what do we do together? How do we grow together? How do we actually pick that decide and say, let's do it? So next time your wife, your husband said something outlandish, like let's go to Paris, I'm like, okay, let's go to Paris. Why not? If in case you can't afford it, let's just make more money. That's a thing. Why not? Let's just add a couple zeros to the bank account. Like, why not? Like, is it that tough? Is it that hard to like go out there and learn a new skill? Is it that hard to go out there and hire someone who's already made the money and ask them, what do I do? I mean, is it that difficult to follow in their footsteps or to just find something that really vibes with you or vibes with your soul? I've been building a culture based around this. And most of you guys are already drinking the Kool-Aid. Most of you guys are already part of our organization and our business. But for those of you who are not, for those of you who are absolutely outside of this, whether it's our business,
watching us for a while,
whether it's our business or someone else or something else, do something. Do something that you can absolutely invest in, as long as it's you that you're investing in. Unbelievable. It's a wonderful thing to think that you're one of the most powerful people in your life. And if you don't spend time investing in yourself, oh, you tired? He's kicking us off the live. I appreciate you guys so much. No. Should I?
Yeah.
You guys want to see something cool?
I thought that's why you were holding it like
No,
that.
I hold it like that because
Okay.
of another.
You can do it next time.
I'm gonna share with you guys a little gift. Where are we?
And yes, Joanne, you should watch it from the beginning.
I love me some good crystals. And I've got a crystal collection right there. It's like a little mat full of a bunch of small little tumblers, small little stones. This is one of them here, my calcite. This is another one here I just got, my auralite. Okay, these are like things I use for magnetic intentions. There's my pyrite. Anyone need to make some money right now? If you need to make some money right now, this makes me feel like Beyonce when I look at it. Like, just look at your wealth right now. Look at your wealth. Look at it. Look at your wealth right now. Look at all the money you're making. Look at all that. Okay? So throughout my journey, I've been picking up gems. I pick up stones. This is a really spiritual stone for clarity. I use this one a lot. I picked up other things. Like, look at this one here. This is for like letting go of negative energy. Okay? Negative energy right here. I picked up one the other day for my birthday. Sally picked it up for me. No big deal. let me introduce you to Isabella, my Lemurian quartz.
I'm talking about Isabella.
This thing is a hefty penny. It costs like about as much as a really solid MacBook Pro. And it is not kidding around. Like, this feels like I've won an Oscar. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank my beautiful babe. I'd like to thank my partner in crime. I mean, my partner in abundance. And this crystal is from the Lemurian caves. The quartz is a seer. It's a record keeper. This is the spaceship. Look, it even looks like a spaceship.
You can't even touch it. You won't let me touch it anymore.
I only let people touch it the one time. But this weighs like a good solid, like 7 or 8 pounds. Like, it's a hefty stone. It's got ridges in it. I want you guys to see this. This thing knows your future.
It called you, right?
It's weird. I know it's weird. Crystals, right? Relax. It's strange. This thing here is, look, you can even see the ridges. You can see the records right there. Look at that. You can see those beautiful ridges. Look at that. That's the universe that knows who you are. That's the universe that knows your soul. There's even a butterfly in there.
Yeah.
You can see it. I'm not sure if you can. It's like a butterfly right inside there. I can see it from there, inside there, right there and there. This is a instrument, a tool of universe that I've been using to upgrade myself. And I can feel you guys looking at it being like, oh my God, is my success in there? I can see it. I can look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a thing to behold.
Magical.
Absolutely magical. This badass piece. And as soon as I got this, I felt the power. I wanted to hold it. I wanted to connect with it and meditate with this. And it zooms and spits me out to an absolute higher dimension. I feel like if I close my eyes for long enough, I will disappear. I feel like I will disintegrate. It's got 2 magnificent points. My life path 11. It just had my name on it. And we saw it, and I touched it. And I touched it. I was like, I'm like, oh.
It's like a spaceship.
It was a spaceship and a half. So sometimes I let it sit here when I'm speaking and I'm going through things. I'm trusting my gut. I'm talking to people, like holding the ridges and feeling the different records of the universe inside of it. But in case you guys, I don't want to show it too many times. So in case you guys are seeing this live, there's 5 of you watching this live, okay? You get a chance right now to hop into this thing. Hop into this spaceship and absolutely help me to help you create your wealth. Mm-hmm. You got to look at this thing and see the future. Everything has been written inside of the universe. You're just claiming it. Do not be fooled. Time is an illusion. The amount of spiritual clarity and the amount of spiritual channeling I do with this thing is like nutty. And it's just changed the whole landscape of how, oh man, like every time I look at it, I see something new. Such a wonderful and amazing gift. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It was my Father's Day and my happy birthday all in one. Sally.
Well,
and my anniversary gift this month, right? No.
And yes, Franny, if you're attracted or drawn to a specific crystal, that means you should get it.
I feel like one of those, like, you know, like those people with the cats on their arm, they're just like, you know, petting it. Like, amazing shape. Unbelievably amazing shape. Unbelievable.
And look at the size difference.
It's been an absolute pleasure and a blessing to be able to be here with you guys and introduce this to you. Kara Wilson. This is from Lobelius. Where we got it from. This is from Carla. This is from Lobelius. No, I don't.
Oh, you're from Nanaimo.
Yeah, she's from Nanaimo as well.
Yeah, we got it from there.
This is where this one came from. Yeah. And we took it home. It's here now.
We had been.
And it's going to help you guys a lot. It's sent here to help us elevate to the next level. So I hope that you guys find value in our story, in our journey, in our growth. This was an investment in my business. This was a tax write-off.
You're welcome, friend.
Unbelievable. I'm going to set her down. Isabella is her name. I'm going to set her down right here, where she points at us until she needs to be held. And I'm just like feeling that flow. So hope you guys find the flow in your life. It doesn't mean you just go crazy and buy a bunch of crystals and go. Even look at my selenite wand. Like this thing is like my lightsaber. I'm in love with this stuff. I have to protect my energy, guys. Like if you guys don't realize this or notice this, I do things like this. Why? Because I'm going deep. We're going deep inside of your subconscious. And when I'm giving you guys these meditations and these analogies and these metaphors, it's because I want to help see you guys grow. So I want to take a foreign idea and I want to make it simple to digest. It's Isabella with one L. No big deal. Just going to quickly put that down there. Just Isabella. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay? No worries. No big deal.
When
But
Isabella comes.
then that's probably going to be her crystal then. Who knows? I was going to name my daughter Isabella, but then after I got to 4 kids, I'm like, I don't think so. I think I'm just going to leave it for now. It's a pleasure to work with you guys. I'm so blessed that me and Sally are here to help you guys, to be there, that little piece of inspiration for you in your journey. Watch my son grow. Watch us grow into the leaders we are. If anybody's feeling the change in Sally, if you feel the change in me, you see the change in my son growing.
I have changed.
You have changed.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need a helping hand. And that's what we are, right? Your Ultimate Podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have a great night. My son's just stealing the show here. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.